bit again. I wanted to finally watch that Live and Learn video I was talking about.
Was that etiquette one?
No, it was the what was it? It was the one about safety, like how, because here's the thing I thought was funny about it. So let me pull it up. Okay, I hope they are probably picking me up typing, and I don't like that, but because this is one of my favorite genres of videos.
Okay, so it's a PSA.
Yeah.
From when?
Or I don't know if it's a PSA, but it's this. So here's a playlist that I'll watch that I'm sure it's gonna have. I'm not gonna go to, because I don't know. 1940s to 1950s educational videos are probably my favorite
These are
genre
OG.
of videos.
This is what our
but
what everything's built on.
The biggest problem, though, here's one. There's the dating do's and don'ts, which we've watched before briefly. We'll do another one that's full on that one at some point. But I love these. I always like these because it's like a different universe that people used to live in. It's like everyone was stupid and did crazy
and it's
things.
so polished because they've been PSAs, right?
Yeah, and you need to be told, hey, don't run with scissors. That's something we're gonna get to in this short.
So the government made them.
Yeah, don't run with scissors. You might die. Don't jump off buildings. You might die. That was something you had to be told back then.
Feeling left out. That looks like a good one.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna go through all the. Well, not this.
There's 132 PSAs.
How many weeks before May?
That you're scrolling through.
132. How many weeks in a year again? If I can't find it, we'll watch another because there's a million of them. I keep bringing it up because I just think I think these are very funny.
Yeah.
It's sometimes they give just awful advice.
I watched a World War II one where the advice was like, don't eat all their food because they're rationing. Where it was like U.S. soldiers in England.
Oh, here it is.
It was like, don't eat all their food.
Yeah. So there's a million, and any subject you can think of, they talked about. If you want to find one about dating do's and don'ts, you can find it. You want to find one about like don't yell at your students in a classroom, you can.
Yep.
That's one we'll get to eventually too. I got a million of these. I love these videos. So this one's called Live and Learn, and it's about basically don't run with scissors, don't jump off buildings, and don't jump off cliffs. Those are all
Hold on,
things.
I gotta get my notebook.
Okay, because you were doing all those things before, right?
Well, I just did them today.
Oh, okay. Well,
my way
you
here,
lived
dude.
and learned. Realize you don't do it. All right. So here we go. Let's listen up to, and maybe let's learn a little bit. The other thing I love about these is they're often in the public domain. That's cool. Yeah, this one, some opening credits to it. Virginia Cookie, Persy High, you've done it again.
Wow. Sound bites in a sound.
What kind of name is that? My boy, Sid. City.
Okay, so Sid Davis directed this one.
Yeah. You can tell it has that stamp of University of Los Angeles Children's Hospital and the Santa Monica Police Department for their valuable assistance with special mention Dr. Harry F. That's like a whole paragraph of text. I'm not reading that.
Children come and go in this hospital every day. The following scenes show some of the most common accidents that happen to kids because they did first.
It's kind of hard to hear the
thought
words,
last.
but they aren't that.
They ended up in an ambulance like the one here.
Yep.
And here are some facts not very many people know. More children are crippled or
What's going on
killed
with
by
that?
accidents in
Pause
their
for a second.
homes
What's
or
Start talking like this again.
Children often don't know that jumping out of moving cars is possibly
Welcome to the
hazardous.
Josiah Show.
See?
Oh God.
There's this statue of a baby like with its arms. What's going on here, man? I don't know.
neighborhood, then all the diseases like polio, TB, and heart trouble
what is
put together.
Tuberculosis.
Tell that to your mom and dad tonight. They'll really be
Dazed
surprised.
term for
For
tuberculosis.
instance, we know that every boy and girl should know how to swim.
Nice, we see some kids.
Every
That
boy and
girl
girl
wants to
should
have
know
some
how
fun.
to swim.
Yeah.
Looks like she's telling her
Unfortunately, I
friend
never
to
swim.
jump on Johnny when he
I
comes
don't
up
know
from
how to
his
swim.
He
dive.
told me.
Oh, geez. All right, good job, Johnny.
Yep, that's what she told him to do,
Ooh,
all right.
Yep, this kid just
That's a
dived
good
onto
trick.
Johnny, and this girl
It worked
laughing
out
it
just
up
like
a
she
sadist.
planned. Wait
Oh.
a minute. Something's wrong with
Wait a
Johnny.
minute.
Of
What's
course,
something wrong
tricks
with-
don't
oh,
always
jumping
turn
on
out
him,
how you
causing
think
it.
they will.
This kid is
This is
floating
bad.
in the water, looks dead. Jumping
This
on
is
him one
bad.
time killed him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can't believe
Hey,
Johnny.
Stuff like that happens, man.
Yeah, you know, again, you shouldn't have needed an educational video to tell you don't jump on your friend while he's in the pool.
Oh,
but
little kids are goofy, man. I'd jump on you now in a pool, Josiah.
I'm not going to. Yeah, and that sent me to the hospital and cost me $5,000 in an operation. I appreciate it. You really helped me out of that one.
I'm just being honest. I'd goof with
Like
you.
this one, for instance.
Well, we'll do it for the show as like a cool stunt. You know what I'm saying?
Lucky for Johnny
I can't
that
believe
Pete knew
Johnny's-
enough to drag him out of the pool and give him
So
artificial
the doctor
respiration
looks
at
like
once.
he's pumping his back.
Had they
or
waited
something, with the kid
until
has a
they got to the
towel over
hospital
his
to do
eye.
it,
Yeah.
like
He looks
this
very-
poor
this is
boy,
not
Get
good.
water
it
out
would
of
have
his
been
eyes or
too
something.
late.
Yeah.
The trick
I wonder if it's
almost had
working.
an unhappy ending. Another bad
Oh,
thing
this
to
cannon.
fool
These
around
kids
with
are
is
starting a
fire, as you all know.
Campfire in their own front
A
yard.
campfire
This
can
can't
be a
good.
lot of fun, but it can also be very dangerous.
Of course.
Well, yeah, they're stupid. They barely even know how to wipe their
Oh
ass.
my
properly.
God, Josiah's going hard on the 1950s.
But Bill just isn't
They don't
thinking
have the
about
internet.
danger.
Yeah, they didn't know lighting fires.
It
They
sure
didn't know-
makes
We'll
you
start
mad
hip-hop
when you
videos,
try
too.
and try and still can't get a blaze
what?
started.
It was like living in the Stone Age back then. It's just bleak
Ah,
life,
it seems
yeah.
that David here has a good idea.
Also, I would be doing stuff like this
if
if there was no Nintendo Wii.
yeah, and if I can just say, I like how kids in the 50s all had like 5 names: David, Bill, Johnny, Jimmy,
Well,
Timmy.
yeah,
No, Timmy wasn't even around yet.
Ronnie,
Yeah, a large number of kids named Dick. That was seen as cool back then.
classic.
Classic. Yeah, let's bring that one back. Bring
Yeah.
it back. All right, so Bill or Jimmy or Timmy, whichever one he was.
Probably
No,
some
he's
more
David.
matches.
David goes back into his garage.
Although if
to-
he hasn't
to get
started
some.
it by now,
Oh, yep, there's the gasoline.
Oh my gosh.
if that's
he's bringing
gas
out a
in that
full
can, he's
of
What
going
a-
to be
what a
awfully
great idea.
sorry.
Oh god.
The thing that's scary is I'm sure they actually made the kid do this in real life, and they're saying don't do it.
They probably filled it with water or something.
Yeah, this is before the CGI, so they had to say, well, Timmy, it looks like you're going to be lighting a fire with
Well?
gasoline. Well, yeah, it was Ronald Reagan behind the whole thing,
Yeah, he was in Hollywood
Yeah.
at this time.
He knew he was running the whole show, Well, don't throw gasoline onto a active fire.
Wait. Pause
Maybe
it,
one of
pause
his
it.
pals-
So do you know why?
Why? Well,
Do you not know why? You should.
Well, I
be
know
wa-
it's.
you should
I know
watch
it's a.
this
I
video.
know it's. Well, because.
But why?
Okay,
What will happen?
You mean
if
like seriously? You
pour-
want me to answer that?
Yeah, gasoline on
Well, because
fire.
from what I understand, a lot of it will increase the fire, but if you're gonna use gasoline to light a fire, and I'm not a safety expert, so don't take my advice here. From what I understand, it's because the gasoline and the fire can travel up the gasoline into like where
Yeah,
the central
it lights
containment.
so fast
Yeah.
that it'll go up into the
Yeah.
container. It'll become a bomb.
And these jerks made the old kid do it.
Well, yeah,
there was
Ronald
no
Reagan.
CGI back then.
Pals will stop him from throwing that gas
His
on the
pals
fire.
would Stop him.
No one
pals are
said a
dumber than
word.
him. They're not
They're
doing
too
anything.
busy concentrating on the fire to think about what might happen.
You got some
That's
tough
smart.
love.
Whoa!
And
And
did
it burnt
happen.
this kid's face off.
So,
right? Oh,
another
yep, there he
bad
is in the
accident.
hospital getting his
Oh no.
face
It doesn't
wrapped like the
always take
Invisible Man,
gasoline to make fire dangerous.
Top of his
With
head is pointed, it's like
know-how,
he's the
you
Conan or
can
something.
burn fires. With carelessness, fires will burn you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Did you learn that from this video, or did you?
Yeah.
How'd you learn that?
I was lighting fires with gasoline all the time.
Here's
This-
another
what is this?
cause
This is like
for
an
accidents
apocalyptic
happening while you're
wasteland where these
playing.
kids are climbing up a building.
For instance, this
Look at a
looks
nuclear
simple,
war. I
doesn't
know it was
it?
the 50s and we were all afraid of that happening, but a nuclear war
What do
finally
you mean
happening.
we?
The humanity.
Oh.
And
So this
it
kid's gonna do
was.
something really stupid. He's gonna jump
Until
off the
one
roof.
of the boys decided to jump.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, there he goes.
Ooh, that looks like it hurt.
He still
Oh,
seems
yeah.
to be in one piece.
Is that-
He
is
said
that-
it was easy.
Correct me,
Come
Come
on,
Nothing to it.
Josiah, that's what
You
I'm
jump
saying.
off buildings all the time, so I think I should probably ask you: is that not what you
No,
want?
I don't
What's the
jump
correct?
off buildings. all
What's the correct form here?
No, well, back when I was a little boy, you would always roll.
Yeah, I would assume, yeah, because that way you don't stick. Because I feel like if you try to land on your feet completely, it's gonna like push your
Yeah.
like knee bones through your legs or something.
Well, no, that's the Looney Tunes. No.
Oh yeah, oh,
Just
Bugs Bunny's not real.
F your ankles up.
Yeah, I believe you. Well, little Timmy is trying to convince little Bobby to jump off a building.
This is me and you, dude. I would do
Good.
this.
Tells his friend to jump.
Come on.
Out of
Josiah.
context, this looks so bad. This
But
guy
this
just saying,
boy
"Jump off
isn't
the
so
building,
sure.
jump."
Ronnie says, all right, you gotta jump.
Come on,
Gotta
Mike,
jump,
don't be
all the
afraid.
cool
Jump.
kids are
It's not
jumping
high.
off the building.
So Mike, not wanting to appear afraid, takes
Oh,
a
there he
deep
goes.
breath and jumps.
Oh, ow!
Oh,
That
and he
looks
broke
like.
his
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
he landed the wrong way.
I
His
was
friend
wondering,
is
they make the
very
kid
sorry.
do that in real life? That
But
seems
being
like
sorry
cruel and
won't
unusual.
mend a broken leg.
They probably get a stunt double.
Yeah,
A 46-year-old stunt double that looks like a little kid.
yeah. So, well, little Billy
So the hospital
get
gets
his
another
leg,
patient.
bandaged up
Jumping
there
from
in a
high
cast,
places isn't smart. And pushing somebody
You know, the nurse
when he
is really
doesn't expect
useless
it can
in
be
all these
very
movies.
What are you
dangerous.
talking
Standing there.
about? She's helping.
Walking
them.
on picket
Yeah, help about
fences,
standing there?
climbing around
Yeah,
old
she's holding
buildings
up
may
the
be
leg.
fun.
Okay.
But it can also
So you
put
really
boys
looking
and
into
girls
these
in the
movies.
hospital.
They probably saved
And
a lot of
that
lives.
isn't so
yeah,
much fun.
a lot of kids were jumping off buildings every day in the 50s. You know, they needed someone to tell them to stop.
Kids do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
You tell me you didn't do
People
one
try to
stupid
Here's
thing. when
something-
you
People
were
try
a
to say
kid.
like suicide among kids and teenagers like up to the highest point it's ever been. Kids were jumping off buildings for fun in the 50s apparently. Well, okay,
Yeah.
this is gonna end well. Kids
Something else to
playing
look out
baseball in
for.
the street.
Playing in the streets. Ball games are fun.
there not like an open
but
yard
they
to
should
do it on,
also
kid?
be safe.
Ooh, asphalt.
Like
That's
those
what playgrounds
classic
and
50s
schoolyards are for.
Could have paid them
Or
for
if he
$200
keeps
or
his
something.
eye on the ball,
Oh, there you go.
he
Yeah, this
can't
is
look
gonna end
out for
well.
traffic,
there he goes,
too.
running down the
Oh
street.
no! Oh my
Oh,
god.
neither
look
a
out.
friend's warning,
About to get hit by a car. Just
Cars
turned the corner.
prevented an accident,
Didn't look like
or
he was
saved
playing.
this
He's got
boy.
running.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
again-
if I gotta say, that's more on the driver than
But
anyone.
Josiah, okay, you're telling me what's the stupidest thing you did as a kid?
The stupidest thing I did as a kid?
Yeah. You're telling me you didn't do any stupid.
Well, not like. No, I'm sure I did. I just think that this stuff is stupid, and it seems like these kids are doing it much more regularly. I mean, I'll say no. Let's talk about that when the short's over. We can talk about what the stupidest.
Okay,
I mean, the
okay.
stupidest thing I ever did in my life was probably when I stuck my fingernail clippers in an electric socket. with a
Oh
thumb.
yeah, and that was like last year. Which is
Close to- we're
nuts.
close to two-
That was in 5, 6.
We're
that
close
was
to
in
2
our
years on
room.
that. The
Oh
2-year anniversary of that. We'll be marking it with a part. We'll get into that in a minute. But
Oh
with the
my
video, yeah, little
goodness.
Tommy
Brings
gets hit
in
by
the
a
victim
car.
of an accident
He looked,
that
he
never
looked okay
should
for
have
being hit by a
happened.
car. He wasn't like bleeding. He didn't look like he broke anything. Oh, yep. Two
Bob
kids just
and
on a
Ed
boat.
went
in the middle of
canoeing
nowhere.
at the
That's a
lake
good
one
idea.
afternoon.
You got a canoe?
Where were their parents in this?
It
I
was
saw-
a lovely day, peaceful
Kids
and
go out and
quiet,
play, especially if they don't have
perfect
Nintendo
for
Wii.
boating.
That's right, yeah. This is before video games. So this is the most fun people could have.
We would have probably done way stupider stuff if we didn't have what we have today in terms of entertainment.
Yeah, we probably would have been like shooting each other for fun, you know.
Too quiet for Ed, I
Uh,
guess,
Ed over
because
here.
all of a sudden
he seems
he
to
shouted
be
to
thinking of
Bob to
something.
look at
Yep.
something on the shore.
Ed and Bob. Those are like
Bob
adult
did
names. You can't name your
something
kid
no
that.
one should ever do: stand up in a
No one
canoe.
Yeah,
Stand
this is
up
just
and-
like
This
this
gave
kid's just
Ed a chance
cool
to
jerk,
start
you know?
rocking
Oh,
the
and his
canoe
friend is
and
just
scare poor
oh my
Bob.
gosh.
But once again,
Snake
what started
behavior.
out as an
Yeah.
innocent joke ended
Rocking
up
that
in
boat.
something
And he
more
starts
serious.
laughing at him, you know.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
It's a good thing
And he doesn't
Ed
even try to
remembered
help
what
him
he
when he's
learned
like
in the Boy
drowning. He just
Scouts.
lets
That's
us
not
have
a real friend.
And he's still
threw
smiling
Bob
when
a
he
safety
throws this
seat
like
in
pillow
top
out from the
what he
ground. He's
learned
still
in the Boy
smiling. It's a great,
Scouts.
yeah, this kid is like a great actor. You know? Look at him.
And threw
He's
Bob
still-
a
he's always
safety
just funny.
seat in time to prevent a drowning.
Oh, yep, kid with a gun. That's gonna.
Guns
See, this-
cause
yeah,
some
this
of
is
the
what you
worst
said. Was that a
accidents
BB
and the
gun?
most tragic.
I don't
Blindness.
know. I like to think it's a shotgun.
Such a
Like-
gun
like
is
Kennedy
not
killed.
only
I
illegal
can't
for
say
boys
sure.
in most cities, but is a possible killer and crippler in their hands.
Oh, here he goes.
I think it's a
Shooting
proper
a bottle.
gun.
He's a good
Yeah,
shot.
it is a proper gun.
But
And he
look
got
what
that kid in
happened.
the eye with a piece of glass. Kid looks unusually calm for getting shot in the eye with a piece of glass.
It's very easy
Yeah, leather
to
jacket
put out
just
an
like you
eye
just said.
with a
Yeah.
BB
It's
gun,
like something stupid I
or
would
with
do.
pieces of
And by the way,
flying
I'm criticizing
glass,
these
as
kids. I will
happened in
admit
this
I'm pretty
case.
stupid. I probably did a lot of stupid stuff too as a kid, but I was kind of hoping kids in the 50s weren't this stupid. Yep, there he goes.
Oh, it is a BB
Walking
gun.
down the street looking like a pirate now. He's got an eye patch on.
Is it worth this, boys and girls?
That'll
Is
happen,
it?
man.
Supposing
What-
this were
Boys and
you,
girls? It's not even a cool looking eye patch. It's just like a piece of cloth.
just getting
Yeah,
a
that's not how
half
vision
look at
works,
the
pal.
world
You can only see half
because
the way.
someone
You gotta
didn't
swag
know
out
how to
if I had
use
an
a
eye
gun
patch.
safely.
Yeah. You've been picking up the ladies at the pirate bar.
Now take the case
Oh,
of
yeah,
this young
please,
lady,
yeah, little
cutting
girl
out paper
cutting
dolls in
stuff
the
with
safety
scissors.
of her own home.
I keep saying that this is going to end well for everything. Well, that's just how you feel about this.
Doesn't seem possible an accident could happen here, does it?
Oh, sure it doesn't.
When she heard her father at the door, she got excited. She'd
Yep.
just have time to hide behind the door and surprise him, like she did every night.
Yeah, how's it a surprise if you do
She
it every
jumped to her
night?
feet.
Uh-oh, that looks bad. Yep.
Oh,
This
with
time
scissors.
it was different.
Oh.
She tripped and fell on the scissors.
Ooh.
Okay.
And the doctor has another
You should get
patch-up job
Austin
to do.
commentate.
Run
It's
with
always
scissors. I mean,
dangerous to
commentate.
run
Do a
with
play-by-play.
scissors or
I
any
thought-
other
I thought you
sharp
meant you
point-
wanted him to run with scissors. Hey, let's.
I don't think he would do that.
We're doing
nowadays.
the second annual Running with Scissors.
Hey, he's a
marathon.
made man. He wouldn't do that nowadays. He's a made man.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He's too good for us now. He's probably going to sue us for playing his clips on the air in the first place. We're getting arrested.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh my God. I guess he
With
got
an
himself right
object
in
in
the
the
chest too,
hand.
because he's like
Oh,
bandaged.
It's
God.
also dangerous to
That's-
climb on
oh.
anything while holding scissors.
Okay.
If you fell,
Mr. Burns.
you could cut yourself or poke out an eye.
Man.
Looks bad.
That'll
yeah.
happen.
Okay, do we really
It'll
need to keep
happen.
saying this? Can we move on?
Yeah, this
We
is
get it.
really
She's-
going on for.
Oh,
a
this is a
long
good one. This is a
time.
really good one. I remember.
Oh,
This
this
is my
one?
favorite. And it's not even for what the stupid thing this kid does. It's for something that happens later. So these kids are walking around a fence at a cliff, like a beach cliff.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, how could anything possibly happen to these boys?
Come on.
Think about it for like 5 seconds and you'll know how.
Let's go out to
Alright,
the edge of the
Little
cliff.
Johnny's gonna go past the
His friends
fence and
know
on the edge of
better.
the cliff.
Mm.
And frankly, I mean that doesn't seem
But
that
Nick
dangerous
feels
on
like
its own, but
exploring.
He
doesn't stop
Little
to think
Johnny's
that the
pretty
fence
stupid,
was
as
put
you'll
up
see.
for a reason.
he can't even stand right. He's not even moving around. He just can't. Look at
No,
this. He can't even
Nick
stand
doesn't
right.
stop
Oh
to
my
think
God.
until it's
They
too
drop a
late.
dummy off the
That's a
cliff
dummy,
and they
yeah.
say it was him.
The boy
That's
learned
great.
what fences
And now
were
he's
for the hard way.
He's
And he's not out of
face down.
trouble
He's
yet.
getting up now. He's all right. He looks pretty good for someone who just fell down a freaking cliff.
Well, wasn't a big cliff.
But lucky for
Yeah,
Nick, he's
I
not
would've survived too.
alone.
They're about to jump off to go join him. Nope, his friends are going to go get
One of
help.
his
As
friends
they-
goes
which is
for
smart,
help.
but it turns out they got a guy who just joined the police academy today and was rejected 13
And
times.
comes
as you'll
back
see.
with the best
Yeah,
friend
he
a
does.
He's got a
kid
big
could
rope.
have when trouble
Yeah.
occurs.
So what would the
A
smart thing to
policeman.
do? Let me just think. What would the smart thing to do here? Like to go down because I'm sure there's a way to get to the beach and just
Yeah.
take the kid there. That would be a smart thing. Well, this police
They're gonna make
officer.
him climb.
Yeah, no, this police officer is not all that smart actually. See, he
The
ties a
officer
rope
goes
to the
into
fence.
action
And
fast.
he's gonna go down. He's gonna go jump and get him.
Well, maybe there is no access. He's got to get to him quick.
And he had the rope on standby, like he knew. He was just carrying that rope around, knowing he was
probably
going to use
nearby.
it today.
Probably fall off these cliffs.
He doesn't even tie himself to the rope. He
And
throws
the
the
job
rope
of
down,
rescue
which
begins.
makes sense. And he just climbs
That's
down.
another
Dude,
thing
you're
to
gonna-
remember,
Are we looking for
boys
2
and
accidents
girls.
today?
Whenever you get into
Yeah, this is
real
pretty
trouble,
tough.
go to your nearest police officer or sheriff.
Yeah, so they can
You'll
screw up
find
more.
him a real friend in need.
No, he's not. Look at this. Look at this stupid thing.
I do like that line.
He's a real friend indeed.
I might sample that for the next opening.
Dude, yeah. So the kid just stood there. I mean, the kid could probably climb up himself at this point. His arm is probably healed from
No,
how
you
long this
can't
officer
make a
took.
kid who just fell down a cliff climb up
See
it.
how the officer questions Nick to make sure he's not hurt any place but his wrist
Yeah, it's a miracle
before he
he wasn't
carries
hurt
him up the
anybody.
Oh my
rope.
gosh,
Yeah, he's
fireman
about to be
carry.
hurting his whole body, pal. So he puts the kid on his shoulder and he
Wow.
tries to climb back up. Dude, are you like what were you smoking before you
He's
tried
learned
this?
his lesson and was lucky not to have been hurt more than he was.
Oh my
Yeah, he was real
goodness.
lucky considering Officer Moron here is the one fixing him up. Yeah.
You youngsters can save yourselves a lot of pain if
Yeah,
you
by
just
not calling the police
stop
when you
and
get hurt.
think.
Because they can just
Listen
screw
to
up
the
more.
advice
Yeah,
of
they
your
really
parents
should have
and
included a
teachers.
segment on putting
A
forks in
hospital bed
outlets.
isn't
Yeah, but some of
anywhere
us don't know
near
not
as
to do
nice
that.
as your bed at home. A bone that is broken in too many places
Josiah show could have
may
never
keep you
happened.
from ever playing
Yeah.
ball again.
It could have, I could have easily
Maybe
died.
figures don't mean much to you, but
Maybe
listen,
figures
try to
don't
understand,
mean much to you.
because it's your life I'm talking about. More than 12,500 kids die every
I mean,
year.
it doesn't look that bad. They're just kind
More
of
than
sick.
50,000 of them are permanently
There's a
crippled
bunch of
every
kids sitting in
year.
hospital beds. They look
More
fine.
than
Yeah, probably-
1,500,000
nowadays.
children
They're
are
a lot more.
seriously injured
Yeah,
every
more
year.
kids die from galaxy
And all of these
gas
accidents
overdoses than
happen
jumping
in
off
your
cliffs.
own home.
What happened to the days
your
when kids used
own
to die in
neighborhood.
active
So
accidents?
be
Now they just-
careful, kids.
They die from what?
Too
like
many
their phone
youngsters end up in the
overloads and
hospital.
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
glad that
Why don't you stay out of it?
you look at the stuff they
Live
talk
and
about
learn.
then.
Because
Think
you
about what
are
we
the
have to worry about,
America
like Tide
of
Pods.
tomorrow.
I like how they have to work in America because this is back in the 50s when all these had to end in super patriotically. What I think the line was something like, "When you hurt yourself, you hurt America." It's like, oh great, what if I don't live in America? Then I can freaking jump off all the cliffs I want.
Yeah, well, see, they didn't have the internet, so this probably wouldn't have been shown anywhere but America.
Yeah. No,
Right?
yeah, Canada wouldn't let such stupid films be shown in their country. But yeah, so
They
there
have
it is.
Canadian problems.
Live and learn. So what did you think? Was that a good
I
educational
think
short?
it was great. I think it probably saved a lot of
Yeah.
kids.
Did you learn anything? That's the important
If I was a
thing.
little kid, yeah, I probably would have.
Yeah, you'll be jumping off cliffs all the time. So, but just to fill time before we get to the interview, you kept bringing it up. I guess I should tell the
we
story.
need to tell this.
Probably the closest I ever came to, not because I got hurt or anything, but just because I did something so stupid that
my god!
it was like super lucky I didn't die. So this story begins in December of 2022 when me, Jack, Doug, Mikey, all those guys we were living together.
Yeah.
And I had these really crappy phone chargers that would like break. It broke when I tried to pull it out of the wall because I didn't want it plugged in for when I wasn't charging because I was worried it might like overheat or something.
Well, in your defense, the outlets also were new, and you know
Yeah.
they're all just they're really hard to
Tight,
plug
yeah.
into.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
many things with more usage, it becomes less tight. So
Okay.
anyway, so I put it. It was in there, and I was trying. It broke off, so just like the little metal parts with the what attaches to the metal parts were stuck in there. So I tried to like yank it out, but it's a hard thing because it's hard to get a grip on it because it's like nearly flat against the wall. So I thought, what would be a good idea to get it out? So I took my fingernail clippers and like try to jam them between for the record, I did not try to stick them in the outlet. I tried to use like a crowbar where I'd put it in between the wall and the socket.
Okay.
I mean the socket and the charger and like yank it out.
Okay.
So when I put it in there, there's when it was like electric like sparks and a small like I don't want to say explosion, but like one of those like spark like explosions happen. And I drop it and there's like a puff of smoke and it goes up and
Yeah.
the power goes out.
Well,
in
you
my
tripped
room.
the breaker. The breaker.
Yeah.
You could have started a fire if there weren't the breaker mechanism. Then you would
Yeah.
have it would have caused a
Yeah.
way worse problem.
And so that was extremely stupid of me. And then I looked at the fingernail clippers, and they were like burnt black. Like the part that had the spark thing was like burnt black, like partially melted. So that's how hot
I'm
it
just
got.
picturing walking into your room, and if you're like dead lying and your arms are out in a T pose, and you're just like, oh, that's the end of Josiah.
Yeah, I mean that would have been on one hand very. I'm glad. I mean, sometimes I do think like, oh, I could have died that day. And then part of me also thinks that was very funny. So like if I did die, that would have been a very funny way to die. Not that obviously I'm glad I'm still here, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's that would have been very fun. But
Would have been a comical
Yeah.
way to go.
But
we would never have the Josiah show.
yeah, and this is probably my greatest contribution to mankind at this point. So to kind of answer the question, you asked what was the dumbest thing I ever did as a
Yeah.
child, and then you can answer too, and I'm done. I would say it's hard for me to say because I did do a lot of stupid things as a child, like
Yeah.
everyone. But I guess I'm trying to think for how far back we're going here. Well, I used to. I guess here's one where it's maybe not the stupidest thing, but it's when it comes to mind, probably the closest I ever came to dying as a child. So when I was about 8 years old, I went to the same school. Primary school I went to was from kindergarten to third grade, and so this would have been probably when I was like 8, so maybe like 2010 or something like that. So when I got home, the bus stop, because I rode the bus to school, you would walk down. You just go down the street, and then if you took a right, it was about like a 5-6 minute walk. Then you get to my house. So what we used to do is there were it was weird because on the left side of the road there was like this hill kind of that some houses were on that was kind of steep where me and my friends would like to kind of walk up it, and then because it was so steep you kind of like run fast down. But the thing is it went right into the street when you got down. So it was not a lot of momentum. There was a lot of momentum. It was hard to like just stop.
Yeah.
I think someone rolled down once as like a joke and they were just lucky to not get hit by a car. Well, one day I was still lucky because, I didn't get hit by a car, but I decided I was by myself, I think, because I went to school with my brother and some of my friends, and I guess maybe they were all sick or they all went before me that day or something because I was the only one there that day. So I walked up the hill and then I ran down like I usually did. And it was like this thing where it was kind of like going in an oval because there was this tree, and once you got past the tree, you would turn around. And this car was coming, and I didn't see it or wasn't paying attention. And it like braked hard when I got to the street, and they like were able to miss me. And
Yeah.
they're like, "You want me to tell your parents you did that?" And I said no.
Oh, as a kid, that's terrifying.
Yeah. And you weren't thinking back then. These people don't know my parents, so what are they gonna? What the hell are they gonna do?
Yeah.
But that's how I felt, and I wasn't really worried about. I didn't realize how close I came to being hit by. I mean, I'm sure I would have survived, but how close
Yeah.
I came to being hit by a car until later. I was just that just traumatized me because the person seemed very mean.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my problem came from. So that was maybe not the closest I ever came to dying. Maybe it was. I don't know. As a kid, but that's probably the stupidest.
Well, yeah,
that comes to mind right now.
They talked about it in the video.
Yeah.
I mean, it was don't
Yeah,
play in the
well,
streets.
Yeah, I used to go home and hit a baseball in the street, then I'd run after it down the street really fast when there's like a pop fly. I wasn't looking where I was going, man. It was crazy. But
Oh
yeah.
man.
So what can you think? We got a few minutes before the furry thing, so if you can make it quick, I guess.
Yeah, I'll make it quick.
What's the stupidest thing you ever did as a kid, my friend?
Well, those like plastic warning like thing, the pointy things you stick into the ground,
Right.
and it's got like the fluorescent reflective like warning.
Yeah.
There was like this one. We had like 2 of them in my neighbor's house, and me and my neighbor, and then one of my friends, we used to sword fight with them. They had the pointy ends,
Right.
and we we were playing with them, and one of us stabbed the other in the eye, like hard.
Oh my
Like,
god,
there was
bro.
blood. It was bad, and they had to go home, and they had vision problems. I think they probably still have vision problems.
Oh,
But I remember we lied about it. We said that it was like because it was snowing, and we didn't want to tell them that we were because we knew it was stupid. But we said it was a snowball that had some rocks in it,
right.
and but they had to go to the hospital.
That's great. Was this in Virginia when this happened?
It was in Virginia.
Wait, do you get a lot of snow there?
Oh yeah, every winter.
That's great because kind of like here that we get a lot of snow, but the thing is, I grew up in Western Washington, and I think apparently because it's like near the ocean, these types of things don't have.
Yep.
But it would snow like once a year, and it was always like the second week of February.
Really?
That was it. Yeah, I don't know why it was like that. I think it snowed on. I always wanted it to snow on Christmas because like Home Alone and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
or
we could-
I don't know why I brought up Home Alone, but like Christmas movies that would happen.
Yeah.
And it did. I think I counted before I moved to college. It happened twice in 2008 and 2017. Those are the only 2 times that ever happened. Man.
Yeah,
was
no, we
sad.
get some hardy winters, mid-Atlantic.
You know, I should come over there sometime. You know,
We
I'd
can
like.
sword fight
Yeah, we can
with
sword fight.
plastic warning signs.
I can. And don't worry, I'll avoid your eyes. I'll just go straight for the face, you know, or with the forehead.
Well, it's okay. You could tell people it was a snowball fight.
Oh yeah. Oh, could
with
you believe it?
glass in it? Oh,
Could you believe that? I put glass in a snowball. I thought it was a funny goof, but
well, the parents believed us. I mean, until they went to the
Yeah.
hospital, they were like, "No, this is." They clearly got poked by something,
right.
and
And
they're lying.
well, did they hold it against you for? Like
I don't
this?
remember. I'm trying to remember if there was a confrontation where my mom was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
did you lie?" I probably said yes. I don't know. I probably would have.
Here's the thing. We should do a
I used to
segment.
lie a lot. It's
Maybe
bad.
probably not next show. Yeah, because we may as well mention it now because we're killing time. But you might not be here next show, so maybe not next show. The show after maybe. We should do just a segment just talking about funniest childhood injuries. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be,
I mean, unless we have like lasting
that'd
damage.
be
from
great.
it. I have maybe if we need to kill time, I'll talk about it later. I don't have any
That'd be
lasting
positive.
childhood. I don't have any lasting childhood injuries, but I have some like lasting like ways I altered my appearance. If that makes sense from as a child. Like, when I did
What do you
something
mean?
Well, I once maybe it's hard to tell, but if you see me like close up, you know, like I just have these permanent like kind of purplish like bags under my eyes.
Yeah.
That was because of something stupid I did when I was.
What happened?
Well, I thought I used a crayon to like because I thought it'd be a funny goof to like draw that to like draw under my and I was trying to be like look
Wait.
I'm like I was trying to do it like you know how in cartoons they have like things like I was trying to be like oh hey look I'm a cartoon character and it completely and I could never get it off.
Wait, no.
I'm serious.
You do not still have crayon on your face.
It's I don't know I guess it's not crayon but it's something and I don't know what and it's been like that ever since.
Because you push too hard?
I think I pushed pretty hard. Yeah.
Oh my
So that was-
goodness.
So there, it's like that. I mean, I'm sure I could find someone who could like fix it, but I just never. I
Never went to
felt
the
like-
dermatologist for that one?
No, I never did.
Man. No, I I don't know if you see the scar on my left eyebrow, but it's because I ran into a doorknob because
Oh.
my mom, back when I was a little tiny bopper,
All right.
my mom said dinner was ready. And so I just booked it, and then I slammed in the door. I had to go get like stitches.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a